All right, guys, back for another video today. You guys can kind of sort of see my target right there. See it in the camera. We're going to talk a little bit about knocking. This is something I learned kind of sort of yesterday, but I'm trying to get to a place where I can knock without looking at my arrow. Now, I don't have the perfect quiver. I got like the only quiver that they had at the shop. So it's not the greatest quiver, so it's a little hard for me to grab the arrows. I'm gonna give you guys a tip on how to shoot a little bit quicker, right? A little bit quicker. All right, so what you're gonna want, first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to practice. Well, let's just start from here. Catching. What you want to do is when you're drawing the arrow, you want to practice on catching it, right? Catching it. These two fingers right here. You can even have a shelf. You can have a shelf, or you don't have to have a shelf. Without a shelf is a little bit easier, but with a shelf you can still do it, right? So when I'm drawing, practice. I did this for like 20 minutes straight today. I just kind of worked on catching it between my two fingers, right? So this stabilizes the arrow, right? Now the second thing you're going to learn how to do is you're going to learn how to draw, right? So draw without looking at the arrow. Now here's a tip that I'm going to show you guys really quick here. So you see the knock, right? Always want to grab it here, right here, right? And it feels comfortable. I call it a feeling of comfort. If I'm grabbing it right here, that's uncomfortable, right? You're grabbing the knock itself, right? You don't want to grab right here around on this side. You want to be able to grab it right here. So there should be a spot open right here, right? So when I'm grabbing it, see, I'll show you guys really quickly here. So stand back a little bit here. But as I'm grabbing, I can kind of sort of feel, right? I can kind of feel the knock. If I'm grabbing right here, that means it's wrong, right? So I can rotate it just a little bit, but I can grab it and stick it, see, without even looking, right? See how I did it without even looking? I'll show you guys again. So fire off that arrow into the muddy ground. I'm gonna grab it again, right? I can kind of sort of feel it, right? So as I pull it out, I catch it, two hands. See that? So it's a little bit easier. I've seen a lot of people there's a guy on there on YouTube. I've seen his video a few years ago, but he's really good at likes to pretend that he's a Green Arrow, right? So he'll do like the back flips and the cartwheels and stuff like that. And I like that stuff too. That stuff's pretty cool. And he looks really good doing it. He like landing and doing all these cool things right here. But then when it gets to pulling an arrow from the quiver, he's doing this. He stops and he's like, okay, now I'm gonna shoot. You've already lost your target for one thing, right? In that whole situation. Fire off that arrow, right? So once again, I got to get a better quiver. But as I'm grabbing, make sure, see how I'm grabbing it? I'll show you guys again. There should be an opening, right? There shouldn't be anything. It's really hard to see. Here, let me show you guys one more time. And these arrows are pretty messed up, but see that right there? I'm grabbing it just like that, right? Grab it just like that. Some of them you need to like cut grooves into your arrow so you can know. You might not have the opportunity to do that. So, once again, as I'm grabbing, and you can kind of work on it, you can look at it in the beginning. But as I'm grabbing, it's like it feels good too when I'm not grabbing the grooves. I'm just grabbing just the soft knock part, right? And I'm pulling that arrow, and as I'm doing that, look, I'm looking way over there into the distance, right? See, I'm not even looking at my knock. That's what I'm doing. So once again, shoot that into the ground. And you can go faster. I'm just learning this. I just learned this yesterday, right? So as I'm grabbing it, I can kind of look, right? And bam. So I don't lose my target, right? Because if I'm looking down like this, and I look back up, the guy could be over here or somewhere over there, right? Because I'm looking down. So my whole point is I want to shoot that one into the ground. Once again, like I said, quiver's not the greatest, but once again, I can pull that off, whatever, and I can, whoop. I didn't do great on the last one, but you can kind of sort of see my point, right? And I'm able to shoot right there like that. So that's just kind of a quick tip for you guys. I'll try to do a video to show you guys what I've learned a little bit, and it's not perfect. This is like day 2 of learning how to nock without looking at the nock. Like I'm looking down at it and trying to be like, okay, I gotta line it up. Also, another tip. I'm gonna show you guys another tip. Some people are still like, oh, how do you still supposed to do it? Have you guys noticed I'm doing a reverse grip on there as well? Once again, something you're gonna learn really quickly here too is when I'm knocking the arrow, right? When I'm knocking it, when I'm knocking it, I'm doing a reverse grip, and then I go to my thing. So when I'm knocking it, I'm slamming that arrow on there. Look, watch this. I'm going down slowly. See my 2 fingers grabbing it, right? Boom. See, look, I'm looking at the camera. I'm not even looking at my nock. I'm not looking at my nock. And we'll go into my draw. Now, some people actually, I'll show you. Some people actually will nock it. Once again, you don't want to have your pinky. You want your pinky to be the stabilizer right here, right? So if you have a pinky like this, it's not going to be stable. You're going to be all over the place. Pinky slams your whole hand that's holding the arrow to a stop, right? And as I'm doing it, I'm able to kind of stick it on there. See, look, I'm looking, boom, arrow's on the nock. So that's just kind of a quick tip on how to do that. Once again, I'll show you one more time the full thing. Once again, this is slow motion. I'm learning this, you know, at the moment. So I'm doing, see, looking, slamming the arrow on the nock. Whoop. And that's not fast, but it's better than losing my target. I'd rather at least keep my target on there, and you can adjust from there as you will. But that's just kind of my little quick tip. Once again, it's just to keep my eye on the target, right? See, look, see that? Look, oh, my hands are already on the nock the correct way. I didn't even look. You guys saw me put the arrow back in the quiver, and I grabbed it again, right? And as I'm pulling it, once again, pinky out, boom, boom. Not even looking, I'm not even looking at the nock, trying to line it with the string, right? Once again, I'll show you guys kind of a other direction. Boom, see that? It's a kind of reverse upside down grip. I'm grabbing it. You can. There's other videos. It's called the dagger. Go ahead and check it out. It's called dagger, dagger archery or dagger shooting, or type in Murmansk or something like that. MURMANSK or something like that. Archery, and it should pop up in your feed. Once again, I'll show you guys one last time. Right? Look. Look, I've been spinning the arrow in my fingers. Look, I'm gonna spin it in my fingers, right? But look. At the end of the day, I still got my hand. Oh, I don't know, hopefully you guys can see it, but boom, just like that. I don't know if you guys can completely see it, but look, I haven't rotated my hand, but look, there should be an open slot for your arrow. So as I'm whipping it, right, I am slamming it on there, and I'm pulling it, boom, just like that. Just like that. So it's as simple as that, guys. It's once again, I'm not perfect at it, but I'm trying to get to the point where I'm knocking without looking at the arrow the entire time. So I've done this a few times for you guys, but as you're doing it, right, boom, I'm going into my draw. Boom, just like that. So that's a little tip for you guys today, in case you guys want to learn how to nock without looking. That's all I got for you guys today. Stay frosty.